everybody. Thank you, CEO Club. I must use this opportunity to correct a minor anomaly in the statement. I'm not the founder of Network of Indian Cultural Enterprises. I'm the co-founder. The founder is sitting here in this room. And I must thank him as well for making sure that I get the opportunity to stand here today, this afternoon, and speak to you all. So, Shri Hari Kiran Vadlaman. Thank you. Let me just take the next 5-6 minutes and talk to you about what is nice, what I do, and why I would really love for all of you to be part of it. Network of Indian Cultural Enterprises, as the name suggests, is a network of Indian cultural enterprises. Now, you might very well turn around and ask, what is a cultural enterprise? And, it reminds me of back in 2016, when the government of India actually used the word startup. For the first time in Indian government history, the word startup entered the government lexicon. So it is our goal at NICE to make sure that the phrase cultural enterprise, cultural startup enters our lexicon as easily as the word startup does. Yoga, for example, is a $100 billion global industry. And we are all very proud that the UN celebrates World Yoga Day. We are all very excited that yoga has come from India. Can you name a single Indian yoga brand that is appreciated around the world? The sad truth is that we don't have a single Indian yoga brand. All the brands that are anything to anybody, anywhere in the world are all essentially Western. We're quite happy to walk down Fifth Avenue at Starbucks, pay $7 and buy a turmeric latte, take a selfie and post it on social media. But Haldi Doodh is something that we don't really care much about.
Thanks.
For example, Michael Jackson, who we all have heard of, actually patented his dance moves. Have you thought of patenting any of our stuff? All the dances and the artwork and everything else. And today in the world of NFTs and crypto and all the other nice stuff, there is enormous value to be unlocked. So let me tell you the origin of NICE. Kiran and I have been talking about this, have been kicking around the idea for a while, and he was wondering about how do we create economic value, how do we unlock economic value from India's greatest asset, namely its several millennia old culture. What do we do? And then the whole point of we need to be able to unlock economic value from our cultural assets. Okay? So how do we do it? And this was the genesis of the idea, because the greater goal of all of this was to create a brand India. You go anywhere around the world, you start seeing things about from different countries, different cultures, how they use the power of their products, their services, their experiences to not just create economic value, but create a huge soft power effort and initiative that all of us come away with. We feel very good to have Scotch whiskey, but we have made sure that in our own country, a Feni, for example, or a Mahua doesn't get the respect it deserves for a variety of good reasons, but because we haven't created the enabling conditions. If you go back 125 years, Scotch whiskey was exactly in the same state that Feni from Goa is today. Feni is classified as a local brew, which means it cannot be sold outside Goa, which is why you don't get Feni anywhere else. And there are any number of regulatory problems, any number of mental hurdles that we have created for ourselves that prevent us from pursuing this path. So if we are all serious, here in this room of very powerful, influential people, to create a brand India, use the soft power that we can all generate and use our cultural assets and create economic value out of it, I think we would have done an absolutely incredible job. Shanaz Hussain, who's the real doyen of creating herbal cosmetics based on Indian history and culture, had a wonderful statement. Back in the day when she started, she said, when I have 5,000 years of packaged greatness in the palm of my hand, why should I be held back? right? Everything starts with a dream, everything starts with an aspiration. And we need to have that ability to believe that it can happen. Not just be a copycat, not just be an imitator, but be somebody or something that others want to imitate. Okay? It's very easy to imitate anybody. And like the joke is, about China, one of the joke was that the only thing worse than having your product imitated in China is not having it imitated in China. Right? So we have to get to that point where people want to copy us. And it's all within our realm. So what we did at NICE, putting all of those abstractions into a more concrete framework, was to be able to create, like I said, economic value from cultural assets. Therefore, how do you do it? Startups, as we have seen from the world of IT and technology, have created enormous wealth in India. The only industry in which India is globally known, regarded, and respected. Employs about 5 million people. It is going to employ another 5 million people in the next 5 years. So 10 million people will be employed, 1 crore. Okay? Livelihoods, incomes, and wealth have all been created apart from enormous soft power, thanks to the IT sector and tech. You will land up in any airport, if they see you, everyone automatically presumes that you are a software engineer. Right? That's the power that it has. Using the same templates, the same models, the same ways in which the IT sector has evolved, we want to be able to apply many of those learnings to this world of cultural enterprises. Therefore, we have set ourselves to grow on the basis of 5 pillars. The arrowhead of our entire approach is the entrepreneur. Entrepreneurs who are today building cultural enterprises that are based upon India's cultural assets in the area of food and beverage, home decor and furnishings, fashion and accessories, experiential tourism, health, wellness, and beauty. Okay? Building businesses that have some grounding, some rootedness in the Indian ethos, practice, know-how, heritage, etc. The second is bring together a large network of angel investors. And I would invite you to please take a closer look at that possibility. Angel investors will provide the much needed fuel for growth for many of these companies. Third is the partnerships, establishing partnerships with organizations such as CEO Club and with academic institutions and industry bodies and so on. Fourth, be able to create policy that is able to influence at the state level and the central level ways in which cultural enterprises can take place. And finally, through research, right? Because without that, without the know-how, without the know-what, we are unable to be able to make a movement. So, this entire initiative got started in October of 2020. So we run a series of programs, we do education workshops, we do mentoring, we enable funding, we are going to be working with the partners, creating policy documents and so on. So that is what the effort is all about, to be able to create this. And we are a Section 8 not-for-profit company. Now there are any number of activities, initiatives that we all can contribute towards. For example, even within in Hyderabad, for example, there is no reason why a NICE chapter cannot start, just like the CEO Club, let's say, in Hyderabad. Okay? And that is one of the things I would really want to leave behind with you. I've spent very many years in the world of IT and technology in Silicon Valley and in India and elsewhere, and I can tell you, it is the entire mindset of giving back and paying forward. Silicon Valley is not a geography, it's a state of mind. How do I co-create? How do I collaborate? How do I cooperate? How do I contribute? That is the entire approach of Silicon Valley. That is what has made that place great. That is what has made it a magnet for the world's talent to come there and participate and create things and make things happen. Okay? And I would really urge all of you to have that kind of thinking, that creating a brand India, creating that soft power for our country can only happen when all of us put our collective shoulders to the wheel. And I really urge you all to please think about it on those terms. Not as a matter of what is in it for me, what am I going to get tomorrow. It is all about being part of this enormous journey of value creation, jobs, livelihoods. We create one Australia every year in India in terms of births. The entire cultural business of India, the arts, the crafts and everything else are the single greatest sources of livelihoods for our people. So there is a social obligation. There is an economic value by being able to create wealth. And there is the element of livelihoods, and all of this, sum and substance, is going to play towards creating the brand India and the soft power that all of us can feel proud about. Next time we walk down Fifth Avenue or we go to a restaurant someplace, we will very proudly be able to order a haldi doodh and not just a turmeric latte. Thank you.